So I'm here with Georgie Rogers and Alice Smith, the pioneers behind Superwoman. How are you both?
Brilliant. I'm really happy to see the turnout for the launch tonight. It was so good. Our panelists were amazing, and just like so excited to see what happens now with the series.
Yeah.
It's the beginning, really.
Yeah, relief. I had one of those scary nightmare dreams that it was an empty room last night.
Dream.
Like, oh God, is anyone going to show up? And then, like Alice said, looking out, and it was just the whole room is full, and everyone's super engaged. And yeah, just couldn't be happier that we've now got the ball rolling really on something that we've been working on for the best part of a year.
Wow. Well, it was really empowering and inspiring to be part of the audience and hear these other stories from the panelists themselves, but also from your film, from Elspeth Beard. So she was the main inspiration behind it. How did it all come together? And yeah, from day one, really.
Well, so I got a motorbike 2 years ago, and that opened up a whole world of people and things and events for women in the moto industry. And then I went to a talk. VC London hosted some team talks, and Elspeth Beard had just released her book Lone Rider, and I saw her speak, and I was just really, really inspired. And then as a broadcaster and journalist, I wanted to do something with all of these amazing women that are just in my orbit all the time, and actually make something, and then also have a passion project that was my project.
Yeah.
So I came back, Alice was staying with me, I was buzzing about doing this podcast, and she was like, don't film it, and don't record it, film it. And I was thinking, I don't know who could possibly do that. And she was just like, I'm a documentary filmmaker, dude, like I can do it. So that was the seed of the idea, really. And then both of us were super committed to just getting this passion project off the ground, and both of our kind of skills and backgrounds kind of complement each other, and the commitment was just there from the beginning. I think both of us just had this gut instinct that it was just the right thing to do, and just to keep doing it and just try and make it happen in whatever way we could.
So what is it about videography, that platform and that kind of storytelling narrative, that drew you in and said, no, we should film it rather than podcast?
Well, I think because you can do both, so we are doing both, and I think why not, when you're kind of, it's about making women visible, so we want to see them, and I think it's just a different medium. We don't want to limit ourselves to just doing the podcast. At the same time, podcasts are massive, and so we have that as well. But I also think if it was a podcast, it could just be us turning up with a recorder, whereas filming it, we've actually managed to build this network of amazing female filmmakers who are now, like, since we've started, they're going off and doing their own YouTube series, and like some of them are training to become cinematographers, and this was their first time ever on a shoot. So if we'd just done the podcast, that would never have happened.
Yeah, you managed to empower and encourage more women. So tell us more about the process of that. I mean, did they sign up, or you put it out there and it was their first time and you went through a process of allowing them on?
Yeah, I mean, we basically, we contacted a kit company that I'd worked with before, Catalyst Cameras, and they very kindly offered to support us by giving us free kit. And so we were like, well, we can't, we don't have any money, we can't pay anyone, but what we can do is like share our skills. So we just put a call out on social media and just said, look, does anyone want to come and tell inspiring stories about women, and also learn in the process? And we got, not a massive response actually, I have to say, but there was a few, and they've come to every single shoot, and they get something out of it each time, I think. And yeah, like I said, I don't know, I think it's just been that little network that's been amazing, and seeing these women kind of learn from each other and grow, and it's just been incredible.
And even if it's just touching a few people, they can then have that ripple effect and, inspire more people. It's wonderful. Focusing on your skill set of storytelling and a professional broadcaster, I mean, Radio 2, Radio 6 Music, Beats One, what was the journey like for you to now, and what advice would you give to someone who wants to be a professional broadcaster?
I'd be lying if I said it was easy. And I feel like I'm constantly at base camp of Everest, and I'm like still climbing that mountain. And someone said to me recently, it was like, you spent all these like 10, 12 years climbing this mountain, getting to base camp, and then this is the hardest bit of that mountain, but it's quicker. And I think that was quite a kind of, that really made me think about my career. It's been hard. I've dedicated a lot to it. I always knew that I wanted to be a broadcaster, and as soon as I got into broadcasting and interviewing bands and music journalism, that kind of opened up a world of, this is actually what I want to do. And then I have always wanted to do more on camera stuff, so this project's tied in nicely with doing a bit more of that. But yeah, I don't know, I think I'm very narrow-minded about, not narrow-minded, but I mean focused. And I knew I wanted to broadcast and to do that. And as soon as I got a taste for it, it's just everything has kind of baby steps. And then eventually you look back and you kind of think, oh, actually, like, I've done all right. But yeah, there's still, there's still a way to go. Advice I'd have is just believe in yourself and grow in confidence. And I think it actually took me a few years to get to a point where I was confident enough to get my ideas off the ground, go in, have meetings and be like, this is my idea. Do you want it? Do you not? For the first maybe from 20 to 25, 26, I don't think I really did that. I worked hard, but it's only really once I kind of got a little bit older and a little bit more confident, a little bit more attuned to what I was doing and just experienced that suddenly I was going in, having these meetings with these big influential people and being like, here's my idea. Even if they haven't happened, it's just having that confidence to do it. So yeah, I would just say, just try and fix yourself on a point and just try and find a way. Even if it's the back door, it might not be door A or B, but door C eventually. Keep knocking with the battering ram. That's me at the moment. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's having that self-confidence of going into the room as well and saying, yeah, I deserve to be here and this is my idea. And if you don't like it, then yeah, exactly, I'm going to keep knocking as well.
It's really hard to get that. And I think, like, as Georgie was saying, we're both at this point where we're not where we want to be yet. Like, we're still like knocking at that door. And I just think we're not like, we still have such a long way to go, but I want to show other women that we're all in this together. Like, you're not alone, and it can feel really, really isolating when you're trying to be heard, and sometimes even not even trying to be heard or putting yourself out there, just waiting to be noticed, and that doesn't really happen. And I think you do have to just kind of, I know it's scary, but you have to just make the first steps and start doing stuff for yourself. Like this, that's what this project is for us. It's it's just making something for ourselves.
And how have you managed to find the women that you've interviewed? What was there a particular interest or area that you were drawn to the most? And is there an area that you feel that more women should be focusing on? I mean, there's a lot of talk about music or radio now focus on, but not much on tech, which is what I loved about how we had that in the panelists. What area do you think we should be focusing more on in the future to improve?
Definitely tech is like a big one. Politics, I mean, really everything. Music, we've got women in motorsports, women in business. I'd like, we haven't actually interviewed a filmmaker, so I'd really like to include a female director and a cinematographer as well. I think it's all of those sort of quite technical fields that women aren't necessarily represented in. That's what I'd like to see a bit more of, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we just started really with kind of the first network, which happened to be motorsports and that hobby. But yeah, I'd like to do a big broadcaster. There's some amazing, incredible women who are holding down huge breakfast shows at the moment. So maybe they're more a pioneer in broadcasting, maybe artists. The whole point of the project was that it could cover all bases, really. So we started with what we could, and we'll just build it out from here. Just any amazing women with amazing stories, really.
I'd really like to do like an astronaut or something. Wow. Like some women in like some really hardcore women in science. That's what I'd love to do. Definitely.
Oh, fantastic! Well, there we go. We can see what's happening in the future, and I'm really I'm so excited for you both. Thanks so much for talking to me.
Thank you. Thanks.